Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George and I'm really tired. I'm really tired but really happy. Even though, of course, a loss isn't a loss for us at the moment. This is it. I put a video out a long time ago called Our Knicks in a Win-Win Situation. And this is the exact situation that I was describing. When the team starts incorporating their youthful players and blending them with the vets, but minimizing the vets' minutes, like we saw the night before, that I actually saw with my eyes against the Clippers. Tonight was a little bit different, but not necessarily. We got to see a lot of Deuce and Quickley together, and we got to see somebody had a career night, and it wasn't the opponent. It wasn't someone else on the other team. It's a very interesting game. Very interesting game, and let's get right to it. Oh, first of all, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And especially if you've been here before, it'd be great if you do subscribe and hit the thumbs up buttons for me. Very much appreciate that. And most importantly for me personally, the comments. I love the comments. They definitely let me know what you guys are feeling. And that's that's key. That's key because this is our Knicks-Verse here. All right, let's go to it. So here, that was the score at the end of the first quarter. I thought if you watched the pregame show that I did with Keese, which was also the recap of the Clippers game. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. I did the recap with Keese, actually. It was fun to do it live. We got to go through it all. But anyway, so I thought, you know what? I have a feeling from the team that I saw last night, their body posture, just the way, the camaraderie that they were feeling, and the fact that it was the kids, we call them the kids, the under 23s that guided them to that victory. That really, that was a sweet victory against the Clippers. Fantastic. I thought, you know what? It's the next night. It's an easy trip from LA to Sacramento. They probably got in with decent time. They had a nice dinner, and they might be able to roll that mojo, that positive energy that they felt in LA, roll it right into Sacramento. Well, as we were finishing the live pregame show, the game had already started and we were already down like 2-10. And then look at the first quarter. We're down 16 already. And I was like, wow. But there was something about the way the game was flowing that, you know what? I don't think the Kings can keep shooting the way they're shooting. They were shooting very well. I can't remember the stats that they were shooting for, what their percentages were in that first quarter at the moment, but they look good. They look better than the Kings should look. So I was like, you know what? Maybe in the second quarter, something could happen. Well, no. We're still down by 15. But actually, about 40 seconds before the second half ended, the score was a 20-point lead. And in those 40 seconds, the Knicks cut it down to 15. So, as we've seen other teams do it to us, when you give them that little sense of hope like we did with the Nets, boom. So then we were the team that came out and had the best third quarter of the season for the Knicks. I believe it was the best third quarter. We confirmed that 100%. Anyway, so came out and then look, this was the score by the end of it. 92-87. Yeah, hanging on to a 5-point lead by the end of the third quarter. And then the fourth quarter came. The Knicks pulled it out with a 16-point win. So it was a 36-point swing within 24 minutes and 40 seconds. A 36-point swing. Excellent win for the Knicks. They won back-to-backs for the first time in almost 2 months. And right now, the team is 27-38. So we're still 11 games under 500, which is, that's what it is. It is what it is. But we are, 4.5 games out of the 10th play-in spot. So here's the thing. If the Knicks keep winning and being led by RJ and the young core, with assistance from the vets, then that's fine, because that to do that will show the NBA that the team has some really quality young core. So other players that may want to come join, they'll become more attractive for players to come join us. That's the key. But if we flounder, if we keep floundering with the vets being the ones that are supposed to lead us to something, what's the story? What's the appeal for another guy, top-notch player to want to come play here? No, what does he play with a bunch? No. But if we do it this way, fine. And if we still keep featuring the youth and we miss the play-in, which at this point it's going to be tough. I mean, we have about that was game 65, so we have 17 games left to make up 4.5 games just to get into the 10th position. That's a tough. It's a tall order. However, it is possible. It is possible, especially if they keep playing the way they played the past 2 nights. But it's going to be tough. So if we miss the play-in, then we're in the lottery. That's a win. So it's a win if we get into the play-in with the young core leading the way, and the way RJ's been playing. RJ's become a star. He's made the star turn. This is it. He's arrived. I've been calling this already for a couple of weeks now. At least, a couple of weeks. So that's fantastic. But something else happened. Julius Randle returned to his former self of last season. That's right. Julius Bird returned tonight with a career-high 46 points, 10 rebounds, and he shot 8 of 16 from the three-point line. The man was doing step-back threes, sidestep threes. I mean, he was hitting from all over, and he didn't start out that effective. I think he was at like 2 of 7. So he went 2 of 7. That's how he started out the game, 2 of 7. So that means he finished 6 of 9 he hit. Fantastic. Congratulations. He is the player of the game, but he didn't do it alone. Nope. He did not do it alone. He actually had some help from Immanuel Quickley. And, of course, we're used to this now, RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett, 29 points. Here, let's go to the highlights. RJ Barrett, 29 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 11 of 21 field goals, 3 of 6 from the three-point line, and he hit all. Oh wait, what was his free throws? He hit his free throws. We're gonna get to the free throws thing. Very interesting what's been happening with him with free throws. Immanuel Quickley contributed 27 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 7 of 10, 3 of 5 from the three-point line. The Knicks won. Oh man, check this out. So those 3 guys accounted for 102 points of the 131 from 3 guys. Fabulous. Some negative things happen. Cam Reddish went to block a shot by Davion Mitchell, and Davion's body kind of continued behind under the basket, and it took Cam's legs out from under him, and he slammed and he hit his shoulder, and it looks like he may have dislocated his shoulder. We're not sure, but to me it looked like his shoulder. It looked like it was popped out, honestly, and I kept. But I don't know. The MSG didn't have a sideline reporter there, so we couldn't find out what was going on. I don't know what the other. No one's reported anything yet, except that Thibs said that Cam hurt his shoulder, but no news. Hopefully, it's just a minor thing, and maybe he just misses the Dallas game, but he gets right back in it. However, I want him to not miss any games. This is the time. This is the time that we need Cam to be available to play. It's already, it's a problem that for Obi that he's not able to play right now. So we can't be missing both of our backup 4s. Because Cam is a backup 4 at the moment. He's really a 3, but he also plays a 4. And tonight, as you can see right now, well, actually Taj is on the court here. But we saw, because also Mitch Robinson, he played a couple of minutes, picked up 2 quick fouls, and then just went to the locker room. He had some kind of an illness, maybe food poisoning or whatever, but actually Taj missed the LA game with some kind of an illness. So maybe Taj gave it to Mitch, who knows? But let's see. Hopefully he returns as well. So the team was pretty depleted. So we lost Cam, lost Mitch, and mounted a ferocious comeback. We scored 82 points in the second half. 82 points. No, 83 points. 83 points in the second half. Outstanding effort. And look, you can see here, yeah, with a minute 30 left, I think he scores here. They got it up to 20 points. And then, in the second half, we'll go here. Julius comes out firing. And very, very quickly, no pun intended, the Knicks cut the lead down to 7. It went from 20 points, so within like two and a half minutes, they cut it down to 7. And then, even though the Kings hit that shot, that was a big shot for them at the moment, or else the Knicks would have really just pulled away earlier on. Sacramento fought to try to keep this lead, but then the threes started swishing. The threes started falling, and the Knicks finished shooting 43% from the three-point line. They hit 18 of 42, and they shot 51.1% overall. Field goal percentage. Outstanding. Fournier, he got off to a rough start, but he had a nice third quarter there. He was part of the spark of taking over the lead, actually. Incredible. I'm still a little, shocked that it happened. Fournier finished 15 points, 3 of 10 from the three-point line, 5 of 14. So not efficient, but he did contribute key buckets during this stretch right here. I think right there, that's where we took the lead for the first time. That's right. Julius hit that 3, got us to 81-80, and then I do believe, right here we gave up the lead a little bit, and then we took it back, and I think that was it. We never surrendered it after this moment right here. Look at this play. Yeah, he's like, hey, where's my foul call? Then the fourth quarter came. RJ, look at this move. RJ started cooking, too. He got off to not a good start either. I mean, the whole team got off to a really bad start. But I think finally they kind of maybe they got a jolt of adrenaline. In that, it also those 5 points that they made up at the close of the first half, they went into that locker room at halftime. Maybe they felt like, you know what, we can take this game from them. And they got loosened up again. A little adrenaline started flowing, and they came out and just blew the Kings off the floor. Blew them out of their own arena. Look at this. Then a 10-point lead. At one point, the Knicks had a 23-point lead. We were down 20, and they had a 23-point lead at one point. So truly, there we go. Man. This was a sweet win, guys. A very sweet win. We needed it. Even if you're in Team Tank, which I'm not in Team Tank, but even if you're in Team Tank, this is still a good win because you want to see your young players string together good games. And Quickley has been coming on lately, like, beautifully. Actually, I tweeted this out earlier today, and then he followed up with another fantastic game today. Let's see if I can find this tweet. Yeah. And actually, what's funny is I wonder if Twitter buried it because hardly anyone responded to it. So I tweeted out earlier today before this game. Last night was Immanuel Quickley's first double-double. And in his last 6 games, he's been shooting. In just 23, he's been averaging 23 minutes per game in the last 6 games, not including tonight. And he was averaging 15.2 points per game, 5.3 rebounds per game, which is awesome for a guard. That's the only place, not even half a game. 2.8 assists per game, so almost 3. And he's been shooting in the past 6 games 47% from the three-point line. 47% from the three-point line. And overall, he's been shooting 51.7%. Well, all those are going up because tonight he shot 7 of 10 and 3 of 5 from the three-point line. So all those percentages are going up, and he finished with 27 points. So Immanuel Quickley has finally, it's the return of the Quickley of last season that we love, but a better version, because he is finishing at the rim now in a manner that it wasn't in his arsenal last season. It wasn't in his bag. Now he's got some tools in his bag, and he's getting to the rim. He's making layups. His floater has returned somewhat, and that three-point shot, it's back. And the other thing is, he shared the court with Deuce a lot. And I think it actually helps. It helps Quickley relax. You know, I think he becomes more of his true self when he has another guard out there on the wing on the perimeter with him, where he doesn't have to feel the burden of having to be the. Even though, you know, when he plays with RJ does a lot of the ball handling as well. But Burks, we know he's not a real point guard. Deuce on that court really made a big impact, and I think that's one of the reasons why Quickley has actually been blossoming lately. Here we go. RJ Barrett has made 25 of his last 29 free throw attempts. That's right, 86.2%. This is from Michael Groggins. I think it's Groggins or Goggins. Yeah, excellent. He's definitely a cool guy to follow. He puts out some interesting tweets. 11 of 11 in his last 2 games for RJ Barrett. So this is what we've wanted. We've wanted RJ to finally be that guy. And the inverse result is now, because RJ is the guy, there's less pressure on Julius, and maybe, possibly, that's the reason why he had an explosion tonight. And also, he was not, you could see, he was not second guessing himself. When he got the ball, he was just letting it fly. And I told you, he did not start out well from the three-point line, 2 of 7. So I'm glad he stuck with it. He actually took some that I was like, wait, whoa. But then I got to the point that the minute he was going to take a shot, it looked like, I was like, oh man, that's going to go in. It's going to go in. So this was a sweet game. As you can see here, here's the game flow. The purple line is the Kings. We were way down. And then you see that with the 40 seconds left, they flattened out. And then the Knicks just totally took off. And we kind of flirted with leads, kind of back and forth a little bit from like the 4-minute mark in the third quarter to like the, I don't know, like the 10-minute mark, 8-minute, maybe 9-minute mark of the fourth quarter. But then it just was all over, just exploded. So here we go. Now you can see it for yourself. Julius, 18 of 31 overall, 46 points, career high. Career high. So now he and RJ both have career highs this year of 46 points. How about that? 2 Knicks, and also Kemba scored 40-something, and Fournier scored 40-something. So 4 Knicks have scored over 40 points this season. That's something. It kind of it makes you feel like, wow, man, if these guys had just put it all together earlier on, could have been a whole different story. But I said it in the very, very beginning when I was prognosticating, predicting what this team might actually be. Everything was based upon Julius playing at near similar level to what he played last season. Did I think it was possible for him to repeat what he did last season? I did think it was possible. I did. Did I think it was most likely that he'd kind of come within like 90% of what he did last year? I was thinking, yeah, that is something he should definitely be able to do. And so all the predictions were based upon him performing that way. Well, as you know, he did not perform that way at all. Like, pretty atrociously, actually. The last 12 games, in the last 12 games, Julius, not including the last 2 games. So this is interesting. Also, I think he only scored 10 points last night, so it's not the big against the Clippers. The last 12 games, Julius was averaging 25.1 points per game for 14th in the NBA. No, 19th in the NBA. RJ was averaging 27.5 points per game for 14th in the NBA. But the previous 13 games to that, stretching all the way back to January 6th, so basically from January 6th to January 31st, Julius averaged only 15.4 points per game. And we all know what he did in December, so that's the problem. That's why the Knicks are where they are. That's why we're not, in the playoff picture, because Julius didn't perform like this, near like this, for most of the year. But he is doing it now, and it's nice that we finally, that 3-17 stretch of 20 games was just gut-wrenching. It was tough. I'm sure it's brutal for all of us, even if you are on Team Tank. So this is like a nice little jolt of positivity in the midst of all this doom that we have been experiencing. And even if, we don't even if we do catch fire and somehow get into the play-in, I think that's a very positive thing that can be utilized in the offseason. Also, like I said before, it'll be led by our under 23s with help from Julius. All right, so here we go. Here we see Quickley, 31 minutes, 7 of 10, 3 of 5, 6 boards. I'm impressed by the boards he gets. 4 assists. He had some nice assists. RJ, 6 assists. I think he led the team. Yeah, he led the team with assists. 8 rebounds. Burks struggled, even though he played 36 minutes. But this is one. But tonight we were depleted, so that's a different story. And then you can see Mitch played 2 minutes. But we saw a stretch where Randle played the 5, and the team played very well during that stretch. The plus minuses are something truly wonderful to look at here. Look at this. Quickly plus 10. Burks, a plus 24. So even though he struggled offensively, look at that. He delivered he was a connector tonight. He moved the ball from one side to the other. He did it really nice. He did a pretty nice job. And then look at Julius, plus 18. RJ Barrett, a plus 23. Totally tells the story. Everybody, at one point, every single Kings player who had got on the court with only about a quarter and a half had all scored. And the Knicks only had 4 guys who had scored. So they had 10 guys that had scored. We only had 4 guys that had scored. So this game had a total Jekyll and Hyde from one half to the other. But it did start towards the end of that second quarter. That's why it's so important. That's why I get tight, when I see us build leads and then give away 6, 5, 6, 8 points at the close of a quarter or a half. It's just brutal. You can see here De'Aaron Fox, he led with 24 points. Sabonis had 19 points. He started off hot. Then when he went to the bench, when he came back, he was never quite the same player, and Julius just completely ate him for lunch, breakfast, dinner, everything. Whatever. He just destroyed him. He got him so pissed that he got himself thrown out of the game, Sabonis. He said, get me out of here. Yep, he was tossed. I think he touched a ref in the heat of a moment. No, it wasn't anything that aggressive, but you can't touch a ref. Here we go. And what else do we have here? Mitchell. Oh, I want to go back. Deuce McBride. Look at Deuce was a plus 8. And he had only 2 points. But in those 20 minutes, he made such a positive impact. It started off a little rocky, just like all of them. But by the end of it, he got into a nice flow. He was making some great defensive plays. He got in between Sabonis and Fox, I believe, and poked a ball out for a nice steal. And then beautiful one-handed, he locked up Trey Lyles with one hand for a jump ball. It just shows the kind of, he could be a really special defender. And I'm going to start calling him Sheriff Deuce McBride because he locks people up. There we go. Let's get to, here we go. This is the team stats. As you can see, like I said before, 51.1% for the Knicks. And look, the Kings shot 48.8%. So that was, that's pretty efficient. But the three-point line, they're just not a good three-point shooting team. Yeah, they traded away their 2 three-pointers, three-point shooters, Buddy Hield and Halliburton. Let's see, what's the fun? So you can see here, the largest lead, we had 23 and they had 20. That's quite a swing, man. And we committed 31 fouls. So they went to the line 36 times. If it weren't even for that, can you imagine? This game would have been over much earlier. There it is. Look at that. Doom, doom. The final score, 131-115. All right, well, the next game is in Dallas on Wednesday. Maybe the Knicks can steal another one, string 3 wins in a row. We'll see. But I still want to see Thibs adopt this new template of featuring the 23 and unders. Have to keep doing that, Thibs. That is the key. We got to showcase them. Got to let them grow. Let them learn how to win in the NBA. And let them be led by RJ Barrett. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching this. Again, my name is George, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit the thumbs ups and drop your comments. And I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.